KU quarterback Jalon Daniels with us in Frisco, Big 12 Media Days. My goodness, we had Coach Leipold on, and he just gushes talking about Jalon Daniels. What's your relationship with him and the first time you met him, when he came to KU, and all that's gone with it?
Yeah, I mean, I believe it's a true through and through relationship that we have. Our relationship is built off honesty because, even when, you're having situations that are happening, you have to be able to remain honest, especially within the college sports world that we're in right now. I think that's kind of what built me and Coach Leipold's relationship, being able to believe in him while he believes in me at the same time.
You've been through a lot of these last couple years.
100%.
And he said you've never looked to, you've never asked why, you've never done this, you've just gone next step to next step.
Yeah.
Where did that come from in you? Because it's really easy to be like, why did this happen? Why me? Why me?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I'm sure everybody can feel that way at some point, but my journey and my life to get me where I've gotten today life wasn't a crystal stair getting here. Trials and tribulations has been a part of my entire life. I got the chance to be able to get a Kansas offer 2 weeks before signing day, signed to Kansas without ever visiting, and then getting the opportunity to play as a 17-year-old true freshman in Big 12 football. I got the chance to be able to play some of the best college football that I've played, and sadly, it was broken apart because of injuries and different hiccups of those natures. But every single time, like Coach said, I never wavered, because at the end of the day, if it's one thing that college sports has taught me, it's trials and tribulations are bound to happen with whatever you do in life. And if you continue to try to harp on why is it happening to you, why is this happening, first of all, it's happened already. And I don't like to harp on the past, and I also don't like to look too far in the future. I like to be where my feet are. So what can I do now? And it's kind of with everything that's happened to me injury-wise, and we're talking mentally, we're talking emotionally, going through every emotion will help you only better your mental when you're going through something down the line. So I try to look at every situation that comes across as an opportunity to be able to, get better. Whether it's good or bad happening, at the end of the day, you were put in that situation for a reason, and there's something to be able to learn from that situation.
So how, I'm going to use the word incredible, does it feel right now to be here and preparing for a season and kind of have some of that behind? I mean, I can almost feel it kind of coming off of you, just the electricity and the excitement level that you must have right now. Absolutely.
I mean, a lot of people like to look at results as a gauge for your happiness and everything of that nature. For me, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be doing what I love to do. I've played football since I don't even know how old I was, but it's been something that has motivated to me to be able to continue doing what I do every single day. And at the end of the day, it's about remembering what my why is. My why is my mom. My mom has done everything that she could for me growing up, and I want to be able to do what she did for me growing up for her now.
What was the most, in the last couple of years, when you've had the adversity, was there a time when you, and I know we want to focus on now, but was there a time when you said, damn, this is, I can't do this anymore? Did you ever even think about or blink about giving up?
Definitely not about giving up. I mean, one of the hardest times for me was being able to play in that 2023 season and then randomly hurting my back in a game that I think we would have had a great opportunity to be able to compete more in if I was able to play in that game. And that stint from not missing the Texas game all the way to the end of the year, it was a lot on me mentally to just sit back and think to myself. I had to make a lot of phone calls with the people that I trust the most, my stepdad, my goddad, and my mom. And I believe leaning into them and allowing them to be that positive light, because usually when somebody's in the dark, they don't really see too much positivity. And when someone comes around them with positivity, they try to flip it into a negative.
Sure.
So it was all about leaning into the ones that guided me where I'm at today.
Great answer.
You play the game with a lot of joy. Clearly, you have fun doing it. But I will say that my wife is a KU grad, so we don't wish this when we're watching it. But I kind of wish that you guys are down by like a touchdown, like 5 points with 3 minutes or less left to go, and you get the ball, because I love watching you in that situation. I don't like. is that where, like, what's the feeling like for you when you're like, oh, let's go get this last touchdown?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun blowing people out, right? It's fun to be able to win a game 55-0, but those are not the games that make the legends. When we're talking about the Patrick Mahomes, when we're talking about Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, we're talking about people when the game was on the line, they wanted the ball in their hands. And what were they going to do with the ball in their hands? These situations when it's crunch time to win the game are the ones that make the legends that we always talk about. Not the games where Michael Jordan had 50 and they won by 30 points. No. When situations like this come, you have to be able to get happy, get excited. Yeah, of course you're feeling the butterflies. Of course you're feeling a little bit of pressure everywhere. But at the end of the day, pressure is a privilege. You were put in that situation for a reason. You worked hard to get into that situation. So now I want you to prevail. Do everything you can to be able to make the most out of the opportunity.
How excited are you to play in front of a real home crowd this season?
Man, I wish that the guys that I came into the University of Kansas with got the chance to be able to play into this new stadium, but I was blessed with the opportunity to be able to get another year to be able to do it for them. One thing that we said was we wanted to be able to leave Kansas better than we found it. And sadly, we didn't get the chance. My class didn't get the chance to be able to leave Kansas last season the way that we wanted to. Yeah, we ended up 5-7, but there was more in the tank from us. And coming back another year, being able to have all the fans back in David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium, I mean, Lawrence to Kansas City is about a 45-hour drive. So we didn't have all the fans that wish they were able to be at the games at every single game that we had. So being able to bring that, invite that excitement back into an area and a stadium that we're going to be able to go ahead and light back up again, it means a lot to me. I'm ready to be able to open up that new booth.
I don't know what it was, but on my timeline on Twitter last night, the play in Austin on the 2-point conversion, I guess it was, for the touchdown, where you were backing up and you were losing ground, and yet you threw a rope for the touchdown. It was a great one. Casey, is that right?
Jared Casey,
got
yes,
the
sir.
touchdown. And it's just the part of a dynamic.
Thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that, by the way.
Congrats.
We all appreciate
it. What a great
that.
win.
Thank you.
And then moments like that, what does it feel like when you know there's one play left? He talked about the 3-minute drive, but the one play left. Because you drop back another foot or two. Maybe you can't get the pass up. Maybe it's deflected, but you made that play.
100%. You never know what the difference is. You never know what little thing you did in the offseason that you did or didn't do is going to make a difference within a game. For me, especially in that situation, Kansas football hadn't won a Power 4, Power 5 football game, and I don't know how long. Never won a football game at the University of Texas at their stadium. I don't remember the last time that KU football had won an away game before that game hit. So it was about emptying the tank. I mean, I forgot what our record was that year, but it wasn't a record where people was like, okay, they're competing for something. But that's from the outside looking in. Inside the walls, we're competing for another year.
You were 2-8 entering that game.
2-8. They were our third win or our second?
Maybe it was just you were 1-8.
Bingo.
Yeah.
See?
You were 1-8.
That's what I'm saying. And for me, it was about gaining the momentum to be able to go into the next season.
Right.
I knew we had a whole lot of players on that team that played on that field that were going to come back another year. I didn't get the chance to be able to play every single year, every single game from the beginning of that season. But I knew once my chance to be able to get on that field came, you got to make the best of the opportunity. You have to.
You mentioned, and go back to the stadium. I've been to a game at the Fog, which is I don't think you'll ever go to a better basketball venue anywhere in the world, anywhere than the Fog.
It's a courageous
unbelievable.
environment.
The fans know everything about basketball too, so it's kind of different in a lot of ways because sometimes I'm sure you've been in a stadium where you're like, these people don't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
but that's not true at the Fog. How excited are you to bring that same kind of energy to the booth now that football has been invested into the level that basketball has?
Yeah, I mean, well, for one, they know all the rules of basketball because we have the rules of basketball at the Fog.
You invented it. Yeah, you invented it, yeah.
We have the rules of basketball in Allen Fieldhouse. But to be able, it's funny you say that because when I did get the chance to come down to the University of Kansas 3 months after signing, I came down for 2 days. And on my 2-day visit, it was unofficial. I had got the chance to go to a Texas Tech versus Kansas basketball game. And that was my first time being in Allen Fieldhouse and, seeing how electric it was. And I was like, wow. So if this many people are interested to come to a Kansas basketball game, be this fired up, what if Kansas football starts to win?
Mm-hmm.
And it was from that point on, I said, I'm gonna help make the booth this way. The booth is gonna be this way before I leave this university. And come 2022, we end up having 3 sellouts in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so excited to be able to get back in the booth. Playing at home is a whole different feel, especially when you're playing at the booth, because there's no stadium, college or NFL stadium, that's within an hour radius of you. So everybody, if you're in that area, is going to want to come see the Jayhawks play.
It's a great story. Coach Leipold could not rave about you enough. In fact, we were going to have him on no matter what. And he said, he told the media guys, and we wanted you anyway, but you are going to interview Jalon Daniels. And now we know why. I mean, when was the first time when you took over a room because you don't walk in the door as a leader and shit, like, I'm the leader. You got to earn that in different
100%.
ways. When did that first happen for you? At 8 years old, Pop Warner, what?
Oh, like in life?
Yes.
Oh, so it's funny because I don't even really tell anybody this, but my very first position on football was offensive line. It was in flag football. They had me on offensive line, and let's say by game 3 or 4, I was a starting quarterback on the team. So, yeah.
Paul,
but
that ever happened to you and me?
No.
Frank,
They said, you know what? You're a couple sandwiches short of O-line. Get a menu. You're not like, I had to have that difficult conversation of like, hey, son, you're not touching the ball. The only time I want you to touch it if it's on the ground and you're the only one who can get there.
I know that's right. But yeah, I got the chance to be able to play quarterback for that team, and that was cool and everything of that nature. But then, like I said, trials and tribulations within my life. Then I ended up playing tackle football for my first year. They ended up having me as 3rd string quarterback, 2nd string running back. So when they put me in that running back, I'm like, all right, bet. I'm going to show y'all what I can do. They put me in that running back. I ended up scoring. Let's just say 2 games after that, I became the starting quarterback. Wow. So in my life, especially before high school was kind of where football changed for me, because I was no longer the best in the room just because of talents and being my athletic capabilities. In high school, there was a whole bunch of quarterbacks at Narbonne High School, and you can go ahead and look up all the quarterbacks that was there. We got Kyle Williams that was there, Jay Garcia was there, Jalen Henderson was there, Mekhi Jordan was there. Like, we're talking about Kyle Williams is a receiver for the Patriots. Jalen Henderson is a quarterback at West Virginia right now. Jay Garcia just transferred to Michigan. And when we're talking about this is my first time, like, okay, so now you have to compete. It's no longer just about your capabilities. Now you have to work.
Right. Can you show off your watch real quick? Just let everyone get a good. Can we get a good shot of that watch? My
bling,
God,
bling.
Beautiful looking, man.
Thank you.
Beautiful looking, Craig.
What is that?
This is a Cartier watch.
Cartier. Okay, there you
yes,
go.
Sir.
There you go,
man.
This is
college
you
sports
call
is
this
different.
an Apple
Hey, this
Watch.
is an Apple Watch.
Hey,
Yeah,
an Apple
an
Watch.
Apple Watch.
Hey, don't worry. I had an Apple Watch a few years back. They keep asking me about it. Don't worry.
So
I had an Apple Watch.
There's a chance.
What was the experience like at the Manning Passing Academy?
Oh my God!
Was that your first time going?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Bro,
Tell us about it.
It was an experience, man. It was an experience that I'm absolutely blessed to be a part of. I want to say it was 45 to 50 college quarterbacks there. Some of the best college quarterbacks in the nation. Some that are projected to be a first rounder right now. Some that you probably never heard of and got the chance to be able to go out there and make a name for themselves. Man, it was such a great experience because you're just around a whole bunch of people who understand it just like you. As a college quarterback, there's a lot of people who wouldn't be able to understand the shoes that you're in unless they're in those same shoes. And a few of the guys said it while we were there. They're just like, bro, I mean, we're a bunch of guys who knows a lot of the stuff that we go through. Mm-hmm. And we were able to have conversations about being a college quarterback, about, handling adversity as a college quarterback, the highs, the lows of it. I got the chance to be able to talk to a few Big 12 quarterbacks that were there when we were talking about games that we ended up losing in very close games and games that we were able to end up winning. But it was never any form of animosity, no cockiness, no nobody whose head was all the way up here. Like everybody that was there was such a genuine guy. And you see everything on the media about these people, but until you actually get the chance to meet them, you never really know.
It is that way. I think there's certain groups like George Bush and Barack Obama are great friends. And I think the reason is because they're the only two people who can talk to each other about what their life was. And like, I can't talk to you about it. I can just sit there and go, oh man, that's
special fraternity.
Yeah, exactly. I can't talk to you about it.
Yeah.
But like, you and Arch Manning can talk about it. You and Avery Johns can talk about it.
100%.
Like, it's totally different. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I got
so-
the chance to talk to Avery out there too. I mean, such a cool guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100% genuine person. I got the chance to be able to chop it up with him a little bit. He's
His
definitely a
conference
good guy.
is loaded with quarterbacks.
Oh, 100%.
Like 8 to 12 of them.
If I'm not mistaken, it was 6 or 7 quarterbacks that
Yeah.
from the Big 12 that were at the
Sawyer
Manning
was
Passing
there.
Academy.
Sawyer.
Yeah.
Sawyer was there. Sam was there. Avery was there.
Was Rocco there?
Rocco
back?
was there. There's a couple names that I'm forgetting.
Yeah. Josh Hoover, maybe?
Josh Hoover did not
He
come.
didn't go, okay.
And honestly, it was crazy because I thought he was going to end up being there. I got the chance to see Josh Hoover earlier today, though.
Yeah. Hey, man, I'm glad Coach Leipold said get you on. We were going to do that anyway, but we're so glad we did. This is a great story, great interview, great segment. Love your passion and also your outlook on life. Have a great day.
Thank you. You guys as well.
Jalon Daniels of KU with us on 365 Sports.